Africa, a land bursting with potential, yet trapped in cycles of ignorance, blind obedience, and stagnation. Why do nations repeat mistakes? Why do people follow leaders blindly, without questioning, without understanding, without even knowing what they are supporting? Because they are like dodo birds, beautiful, unique, yet tragically naive, following the flock, trusting the wrong voices, marching blindly toward disaster. And just like the dodo, when one leader jumps off the cliff, the rest follow, even if it leads to extinction. The dodo is extinct, yes, but its lesson is alive and glaring. In cartoons and films, dodos are often depicted as innocent, gullible, and slow, following one another blindly. They have no strategy, no foresight, no critical thinking. They trust the wrong leader and march to their doom. Africa today is filled with human dodos, citizens and leaders alike, ignoring history, ignoring prophecy, ignoring truth, following the loudest voice, trusting the wolf in sheep's clothing, marching blindly into collapse. The problem is not the cliff. The problem is blind obedience. The problem is stagnation. The problem is refusing to see what is in front of you. People follow leaders blindly, not because the leader is wise, not because the vision is good, but because it is easy, because the leader speaks loudly, promises comfort, distracts with slogans, or instills fear. The wolf in sheep's clothing thrives in this environment. He preys on trust, on ignorance, on laziness. And when the wolf jumps off a cliff, the flock follows. No questions, no hesitation. Just mindless loyalty, repeating history, repeating mistakes, repeating failure. Scripture warns about blind followers, Matthew 7 verse 15 through 16. Beware of false prophets, who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will recognize them by their fruits. Yet the flock ignores the signs. The flock cries, they grumble, they complain, but they never think critically. And the cycle continues. This is not a new phenomenon. History is full of flocks following disastrous leaders. Tribal leaders selling out their people for personal gain. Political figures exploiting citizens under the guise of ideology. Entire nations marching blindly into war, famine, or collapse. Africa has countless examples. And the lessons of history go unlearned because people follow first, question later, if ever. The prophets warned repeatedly about blind obedience and misplaced trust. Siener van Rensburg foresaw nations following destructive leaders. Johanna Brandt warned of mass deception and spiritual blindness. Prophecy is not entertainment, it is a warning. Ignore it at your own peril. The dodo birds of today march blindly because the warnings are ignored. Look at elections, political campaigns, social movements. Citizens chant slogans, wave banners, repeat talking points. They trust leaders without scrutiny. They follow blindly. When the leader fails, or deliberately betrays them, the people often fall with them. Collapse follows, chaos follows, opportunity dies, progress dies. Just like the dodo birds in films, when one jumps off the cliff, the rest follow. Extinction does not care about loyalty or faith. It only cares that you did not think for yourself. Blind obedience is not just political, it is spiritual. Following the wrong voices, ignoring scripture, ignoring prophetic warnings. This is spiritual dodoism. Jeremiah 17 verse 5 warns, "Cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes flesh his strength." When faith is misplaced, when guidance is ignored, when obedience is blind, nations stumble, and civilizations collapse. Crying afterward changes nothing. The cure is simple, yet ignored. Teach discernment. Question authority. Verify truth. Refuse blind obedience. Recognize wolves in sheep's clothing. An educated, discerning population cannot be led to extinction. Awareness breaks the dodo cycle. When history, prophecy, and scripture all speak, and the people continue blindly following, collapse is inevitable. Civil unrest, economic collapse, social decay, moral decay, spiritual decay. All the cliffs are there. And the flock marches toward them, eyes closed, trusting the wrong leader. Stop being a dodo. Stop crying. Stop complaining. Stop following blindly. Examine your leaders critically. Question motives, track records, and results. Study history. Study scripture. Study prophecy. Educate yourself. Educate others. Refuse to follow blindly, even if everyone else does. Africa will not rise while the majority of its citizens march blindly toward the cliff. Awareness and action are the only antidotes. Africa is not doomed, but its people must awaken from dodoism. The cliffs are there, the wolves are there, and the flock is marching. But it does not have to end in destruction. Prophets warned, scripture warned, history warned. Stop crying. Open your eyes. Recognize the wolf. Question the leader. Step back from the cliff. Lead others wisely. Be the exception. Do not follow blindly. Africa's survival depends on it. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you next time.